1. Sword. The sword is one of the most iconic weapons in human history, symbolizing not just warfare but also justice and authority. Originating thousands of years ago, its designs vary widely across different cultures and epochs. The essence of the sword is its versatility, capable of cutting, thrusting, and slashing, making it suitable for a variety of combat situations. European swords like the broadsword and rapier emphasize the balance between weight and length, optimizing them for both cutting and thrusting. In contrast, the Japanese katana is renowned for its curved blade, designed primarily for slashing, reflecting the specific martial ethos and aesthetic values of the samurai culture. The development of the sword also tells the story of technological advancement in metalworking. Early swords were made from bronze, which is softer than iron but was easier to cast into shape. As iron smelting technology evolved, so did the sword, with the introduction of steel allowing for stronger, sharper blades. The sword was not just a weapon but a work of art, often richly decorated and imbued with symbolic meanings. It represented the warrior's prestige and skill, making it a central element of warrior cultures around the world. Click subscribe to this channel to get more topics you love. 2. Spear. The spear is one of the oldest weapons used by humans, its history rooted deep in prehistoric times when early humans used sharpened sticks for hunting. The spear's design is simple yet effective, a long shaft with a pointed tip, often made of metal. This simplicity made it inexpensive and easy to produce, allowing it to be widely used by various cultures throughout history. The spear is versatile, used for thrusting at enemies or throwing as a projectile, making it indispensable in both individual and group tactics. In warfare, the spear allows its user to keep enemies at a distance, providing a significant advantage in combat. Different cultures adapted the spear to their specific needs and fighting styles. For example, the Greek hoplite used a short, heavy spear for phalanx fighting, while African tribes favored lighter, longer spears for throwing. The spear was also a tool of survival, used for hunting and fishing, thus maintaining its relevance across different aspects of life. Its impact on warfare and daily survival demonstrates the spear's fundamental role in shaping human development and societal structures. 3. Axe. The axe originated as a practical tool for chopping wood and other materials but quickly found its place in warfare, combining utility with deadly efficiency. Unlike the sword or spear, the axe's primary function is chopping, leveraging its weighted head to deliver powerful, cleaving blows that could break through armor and shields. The design of the axe varies significantly across cultures, from the tomahawks of Native Americans to the battle axes of medieval Europe. In warfare, the axe was particularly favored by the Vikings, known for their fearsome raiding and close combat skills. The Viking axe was typically light enough to be wielded with a single hand while also being robust enough to be effective in battle. The psychological impact of the axe should not be underestimated. It was a brutal weapon that could cause devastating injuries, instilling fear in enemies. Furthermore, the axe symbolizes the thin line between everyday life and combat in ancient cultures. The same tool that built homes and chopped firewood was also a deadly weapon in skilled hands, reflecting the harsh realities of survival and warfare in the historical context. 4. Mace. The mace is a blunt weapon that dates back to ancient times, used primarily for close combat. It consists of a strong, heavy head on a sturdy handle, designed to deliver powerful blows that could crush armor and bones. Unlike edged weapons like swords or axes, the mace does not rely on sharpness to inflict damage, making it particularly effective against armored opponents where piercing or cutting might be difficult. The mace evolved from simple stones attached to wooden handles to more sophisticated versions with metal heads shaped with flanges or knobs to increase their lethal efficiency. This weapon was particularly popular in the Middle Ages but can be traced back to ancient civilizations like Egypt and Persia, where it was a symbol of authority and divine right as well as a weapon of war. The mace's design reflects a brutal pragmatism in warfare. It's a straightforward, unpretentious weapon that requires less skill than a sword or spear, focusing instead on the raw power of the wielder. Additionally, Its use by cavalry, including in medieval Islamic and European cultures, demonstrates its adaptability and enduring presence on the battlefield. The mace, as a weapon, underscores the evolution of military tactics in response to the development of armor and defensive equipment. 5. Dagger. The dagger is a small, double-edged blade used throughout history for close combat encounters. Its compact size and easy concealment made it an ideal weapon for stealth, surprise attacks, and self-defense. Daggers have been part of human weaponry since the earliest civilizations, serving not only as tools of war but also as instruments of ritual and prestige. Historically, daggers were often used as secondary weapons in warfare, held as a backup when the primary weapon was lost or broken. In European tradition, the dagger evolved stylistically and functionally, from the Roman pugio to the medieval stiletto, each design serving both practical and aesthetic purposes. It was a common sidearm for knights who could use it to exploit gaps in armor that larger weapons could not penetrate. The dagger also holds a significant place in cultural and ceremonial contexts, symbolizing betrayal or sacrifice in various legends and stories. For instance, in the Renaissance, it became fashionable to wear ornate daggers as a combination of status symbol and personal protection. The dual nature of the dagger, as a tool of death and a work of art, highlights its deep-rooted significance in both the physical and symbolic realms of human society. 6. Halberd. The halberd is a pole weapon from medieval Europe that combines elements of a spear, axe, and hook. This multipurpose functionality made it especially valuable during the 14th to 17th centuries, primarily for infantry engaging with mounted knights. The halberd consists of a long wooden shaft, typically around 5 to 6 feet in length, topped with a metal head that includes a pointed tip for thrusting, an axe blade for slashing, and a hook for pulling riders from their horses. The versatility of the halberd made it a formidable weapon against various forms of armor and battlefield tactics. It could breach the defenses of plate armor and disrupt phalanx formations. Moreover, the halberd exemplifies the ingenuity of medieval weaponry in adapting to the challenges posed by evolving military technologies and strategies. As a weapon wielded by foot soldiers, the halberd played a crucial role in shifting the balance of power on the battlefield, reducing the dominance of mounted knights and giving rise to more versatile and strategic infantry roles. Its impact on warfare was significant, marking a transition towards more sophisticated battle tactics and the increased importance of versatile, multifunctional weapons in military conflicts. 8. Crossbow. The crossbow is a ranged weapon similar to a bow but with a mechanism that holds the drawn bowstring, allowing it to shoot bolts or quarrels with more energy and requiring less strength to operate. First appearing in ancient China and later spreading through medieval Europe, the crossbow was a pivotal innovation in pre-modern warfare due to its ability to be used effectively after minimal training, unlike traditional bows that required considerable skill and physical strength. Crossbows have a horizontal bow mounted on a stock, which shoots projectiles that are shorter than arrows but heavier. This design not only makes it easier to aim and fire with stability but also allows the weapon to be loaded and ready to shoot at a moment's notice, a significant advantage in both siege and defensive situations. The mechanical advantage provided by the crossbow's trigger and locking mechanism democratized warfare to some extent, as peasants could be quickly trained to use it effectively against well-armored opponents. The strategic impact of the crossbow is notable, particularly in sieges and defensive battles, where its ability to penetrate armor from a distance changed the dynamics of military engagements. It led to the development of new types of armor and tactical approaches, reflecting an ongoing arms race between offensive capabilities and defensive technologies in medieval warfare. 9. Catapult. The catapult is an ancient siege engine used to hurl large projectiles over long distances to breach fortifications or strike enemy troops from afar. Originating in ancient Greece around 399 BC, the design and technology of catapults evolved over centuries, with various forms such as the ballista, trebuchet, and mangonel each serving different military functions. Catapults typically work on the principle of stored energy, either tension, torsion, or gravity, being rapidly converted into kinetic energy to launch a projectile. For example, the trebuchet, a type of catapult that came into widespread use during the Middle Ages, uses a counterweight system where a heavy weight falling on one end of a lever launches a projectile from the other end. This allows the trebuchet to hurl stones, burning pitch, or even deceased plague-infected bodies over or into enemy walls. The advent of catapults in warfare introduced a new strategic dimension to sieges, allowing armies to attack fortifications from a distance and cause psychological as well as physical damage to defenders. Their development underscores the ingenuity of ancient and medieval military engineers and their continuous quest to overcome the challenges posed by evolving fortification techniques. These ancient weapons each hold a distinct place in the history of human conflict and development, reflecting both technological innovation and the strategic necessities of their times. Their stories are not just about warfare, but about the progress of civilizations and the complex interplay of technology, society, and the human condition.